misconception is what we are trying to demystify here. Here we are talking about the end product. Most of you are talking of the end product as the final box that you normally see delivered to your premises that you use for packing. Can you just bring it here? So this is what most of us here are used to seeing, because it is what you people deal in as the final thing that you use for packaging. But packaging is a process that begins with the procuring the item that we use for making the boxes. As you're all aware, we don't produce paper locally. So all the paper that we use for making the boxes is procured from abroad. We buy papers from the US, we buy paper from China, we buy paper from South Africa, we buy paper from Tanzania, and we also buy paper which is recycled locally here from Ginger. So that is where the whole thing should be analyzed from, right from the beginning of procurement. Now all these different procurement centers do provide us with different types of with paper. Now these papers are graded with different grammage and different qualities. So what we finally present to you is what you as the client, as the customer, does appreciate. Now this will pass as a general box. What we shall pass as a general box, what is lifted by most of the dealers who stock the boxes somewhere in Nakasero, and most of the Ugandan exporters prefer this type of box. Now this box is a general type of box that is normally kept in our display counter that is ready to be lifted at any one time T. Now you may have this type of box that is highly specialized box. It will give you different paper combination. It will present better strength, but it will also call for better price. Then we have another combination that may have a very strong bottom and a relatively weak or light top. So that's basically the genesis of box manufacturing. With the different grades of paper, we'll give you the different grades of material that we have in the market. That's now from the manufacturing side. I'm really glad that we are now interacting here, because the other challenge that we have visited a number of our clients. I think one of the oldest whom I really want to appreciate is Mr. Kanyike, Dr. Kanyike James. He has been with us for as long as I know. He will tell you the challenges that he also faced when he was starting. Now, finally, when we do lift this box from our premises to the exporters, the first challenge that we have is storage. This is paper, for heaven's sake. So paper must be kept where moisture content is at its minimum. If we do a challenge test, how many of you people here have such facilities at your premises? The answer will be very wanting. So when even a box as of high grade as this, if exposed to a lot of moisture, will definitely turn to the other grade. So storage is really very, very, very important for us if we have to achieve the sort of standards that we are talking about here. Other than storage, we also have the pallets where the boxes are arranged. We have had situations where, we visit clients and we find the last bit of the box is like that. And you are packaging about 10 high. You are stacking it 10 high. So what will happen at the end of the day is that the lower boxes will begin bending. This is already a huge challenge in as far as the quality of the material we are talking about is concerned. I was actually glad the gentleman who talked about transporting products now. Okay, after, the other thing I should not miss is the specification of the box. You find most of our people will come and ask for a 4 kg box. A 4 kg box is made for chili. Those are quite light items, right? But then it will pack 4 kg and suddenly realizes there's more space. Then he will add. From 4 kg, we are now going to 5 kg, 4 kg and a half. And then the Ugandan way, we use something to strap it, to make it strong. That too presents a challenge to the box, the carton. By the time it reaches the final destination, what looks simple is very glaring to the final recipient. So please let us adhere to the standards that we are asking for. If you want 4 kg, please pack 4 kg. If you want 5 kg, please pack 5 kg. Then we're not going to talk about Rwanda and Ugandan boxes. I was glad that it was also mentioned here. This gentleman even talked about a taxi transporting produce from point A to point B. We have witnessed borders carrying boxes from our premises heading towards Entebbe. I don't know whether the gentleman of Civil Aviation Authority will bear me witness on this, but these are the challenges that we are still grappling with as a growing economy. It is part of growth. It's not a blame game, but we are just basically identifying the loopholes to make us better. So if we could really address all these challenges together, I think we may, in the end, avoid pointing fingers. I don't know what, the last time I was at the airport, of course, there was a lot of improvement going about the storage of the cooling unit. My brother from the Civil Aviation will talk about that. Let me not go there. Now, the other thing, what do we do to help you as a vegetable exporter? All of us, from print and carton, Riley Packaging, East African Packaging, name it, we all have in-house studios that do the branding. So all that we need from you is the concept. Once you develop the concept, you bring to us, we do the branding. We do all sorts of branding. From this, we can brand this and print like this. We can do this. Of course, different players have different facilities and capacity. There are those who can print up to 4 color, there are those who can print up to 3 color, there are those who can print up to 6 color. But again, the more the colors, the little additional cost from you. Yeah, and also, what people don't know is that the more the color, the more compression you're having on the box, and therefore the weaker the box. Okay? The less color that you have on the box, the less compression on it, and therefore the better the strength for you. So all these things we can only have and benefit from if we have this sort of forum and interaction time and time again. So I honestly look forward to you people visiting us. Other than us having this sort of workshop here, I request that next time you invite us to create space for you people, and we go through the production process, and you appreciate what we go through. I want to categorically dispel the rumor that what goes to Rwanda, what goes to Kenya, is any better than what we supply to the Ghanaian market. No. I'm at the thick of it. I'm not talking because I want to be defensive, but whatever we give to the Ghanaian market is as per what is demanded by you people. I don't think Mr. Kanyike will complain about quality of boxes. Your question, look up. I don't think he will complain about the quality of boxes because he has taken us through a lot of ride to achieve to be where he is now. At one point when we had just begun with him, he even used to stand on top of the boxes, given his weight. You can imagine. He used to stand on the boxes to say, is it really strong? So we have gone through all that process to make him comfortable today. If we can make him comfortable, I'm sure we can make any of you comfortable. My co-competitor, I hope I've presented you well. If not, you can come and say something later. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. And thank you, Hearty Press, to inviting us here for this platform. And I'm representing as a chairman for Corrugated Boxes Association, though I'm the managing director of Print and Carton Uganda Limited. We're in this business more than 16 years. But whatever my colleague, my competitor said, whatever is speaking is true. The problem was that we need to sensitize, all of us need to sensitize the people how to handle them, how to from the beginning of transportation, handling, storing, taking to the airport, and even the airport authority is handling like a DOS, NHAS, whatever it is. They need to train the people how to handle them. You know, these are paper boxes, as you are aware. Even though if you have a wooden box, if you throw like this, it will break. But I think all of you are, before earlier, there were some videos were circulating in your group, throwing like a stone in the, whatever the screening area. If it is like that, we can't, everything will break, and the product which is going there somewhere is also soft, whatever the product you are packing, even if you throw that, the product is going to spoil there and then. So we request all the authorities and the farmers or packers, whoever here, to train your workers properly. Let them handle the boxes like a baby. Then only your product can reach the destination in a safe way. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us strengthen the partnership. I also like the fact that competitors can stand on the same podium and align without fighting. When the sector grows, all of you, the volumes increase. The handling, the airlines, that's our goal. Thank you. Welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. Maurice Ongwecha, my name's, and I'm the cargo manager at Uganda Airlines, and it gives me a lot of pleasure to be before you. We are honored by the invitation, so thank you very much for that. So basically, Uganda Airlines, we are in the business of transportation of passengers and cargo. The passenger transportation business started in 2019, and it took a while for cargo certification to happen. So we started cargo in 2021 September, formally. We operate a fleet of 6 aircrafts, 4 Bombardier CRJ 900s. They have a cargo capacity of about 1.5 to 2 tons. Then we have 2 Airbuses, the Airbus A330-800neo, it's the latest. And the Airbus has a capacity of give and take about 18 to 20 tons on a full passenger load. Sorry, on between 80 to 85% passenger load. And as the number of passengers on board drops, the cargo offer goes up, and all this goes up to a total of 36 tons with 10% occupancy on the passenger side. We conduct belly operations. What I mean by belly operations, we load cargo in the belly of the aircraft on both fleets. And the Airbuses have unitized operations. When I say unitized operations, we load cargo in containers and pallets. So the advantage of unitized operations is that it gives you less handling effort, and that also has a direct bearing on the quality of the packages. My colleague here talked about a video where boxes were being thrown onto a screening machine. I remember I saw that video. It was one of those embarrassing moments for us as transportation providers, and we have made steps in relation to that. I will not distance myself from the video. The video was taken at a handling facility. We have 2 major handling companies. For us as Uganda Airlines, our handler is DAS Handling, and I'm happy to see Philip here. The other handler is NAS. NAS, that is formerly NHAS. So from the time that video came out, we've had a number of meetings, and we've improved processes to ensure gentle handling. So that aside, thank you. That aside, when I talked about less handling, so for the Airbus operations, for example, where I talked about unitized operations, when your cargo gets offloaded from the truck, the cargo is loaded in like I said, either a container or a pallet. These unit load devices are already pre-cooled for you. So by the time we load the goods onto these units, you can only expect temperature reduction from that point onwards, other than the bulk operations. Now, there's also what I mean by less handling, as in you will take the boxes off the truck, offload, load in the containers or the pallet, and then secure that. Once that is secured, it goes into the cold room. It will come out of there as a unit and is taken to the aircraft and loaded. Now, with bulk operations, it means time to take to the aircraft. We take that to the aircraft, and then the boxes still get put onto a conveyor belt and rolled into the aircraft. Even in the aircraft, there is more people handling and trying to load the boxes in a systematic manner to maximize space on board. So the introduction of the Airbuses into our operations have given us a major advantage in terms of additional offer of capacity and improvement in terms of quality due to less handling involved. Okay, that is for our fleet. Looking at our routes, we started operations with the CRJs, like I said, and they are basically meant for region operations. So regionally, the CRJs that we operate these to Kinshasa, Juba, Mogadishu, Nairobi, Mombasa, Zanzibar, Kilimanjaro, Dar es Salaam. We have Bujumbura, and we operate them to Joburg sometimes. Sometimes it's the Airbus. So once a week, on every Fridays, we have the Airbus go to Johannesburg when we have the really large loads. And then the other 4 days of the week, we operate the CRJ to Joburg. And this is also, like I was saying before, capacity driven. Friday is the day when we seem to have the best loads to operate the Airbus. Incidentally, it is an expensive equipment to operate. And due to that, in order for you to break even, you need a certain amount of cargo and a certain amount of passenger on board. And that is not something we easily achievable in the region operations. So we keep that for the long haul, and that's why we have the Airbuses on the long haul. Now, our current long haul route has Dubai. So we have Dubai as our current long haul route. And I must confess we are behind in terms of opening new routes. We should have had London by now. We should have had India, and we should have had China. This is going by the projection of the business when we started operations. But for various reasons that I will not go so deep into, but I'll still give you a highlight about, these routes are not yet open. India is close enough now. We were planning for India in December or early Jan. That is still on schedule. However, looking at demand in terms of the 4 routes that I've mentioned, the most demanded route is London. And to us, being able to offer London will be a major achievement on our own part. Unfortunately, that also it's presenting the biggest challenges for us so far. When the UK broke away from the EU, the certification process kind of variated a little. Before you'd get authorized one certification to take you into the whole of Europe and the UK. Now we have a EASA on one side, which is the European Aviation. Then you have the UK on the other side. So to get the third country operator for the UK still means to go to any other European destination, you'd still have to seek, go through another approval process. So for now, we are concentrating on certification for the UK, and indeed we submitted our proposal for the route, all the paperwork requirements. We submitted them to the UK CAA on the 2nd of September. That's when we submitted these documents. And when I say 2nd of September, I beg not to be misquoted. That was a second time to submit. So it was a resubmission. The initial submission was set aside, and we had to submit again based on the request from the other end. So we submitted on the 2nd of September, and ideally, we should have been in the process of supervision inspection. So from the point you submit your paperwork, it takes about 6 months to get the certification, the number of inspections that go on. And these inspections are both at the state level and the localized to the airlines level of operations. So with our submission, like I said, inspection has not happened. The UK authorities got back to us, and indeed, they guided that inspection would only start after we've finished our ICAO audit. The last audit of ICAO was conducted in 2014, and there were some findings that our CAA is in the process of closing. And once that is done, then they will review our application, and hopefully we should be able to start. So without making any big promises, I look at our start for the later part of 2023 to be realistic. Because that audit is scheduled for September next year. So only after that audit can our inspection and startup processes commence. So that is it in terms of London, because I know I've had so many questions from different members present about the UK operations. Then I'll look at packaging and documentation. I'll be brief and quick with what I have left. Packaging and documentation. Packaging, yes. Thank you very much for your presentation. Packaging plays a major role in determining the quality of your products when they finally get to the market. We've had challenges in the past, and some of these challenges are still present. When we look at the boxes here, these are boxes we use in the export of fruits and vegetables at the airport. Unfortunately, these boxes are only used on the cargo side. We have a lot of passengers who carry perishable fruits and vegetables, especially to Dubai and a few other destinations. Those other destinations they are there's a number of restrictions on them. Dubai is rather liberal. Whatever you bring in gets into the country. And because of it being liberal, you have passengers carrying Ugandan fresh fruits and vegetables in boxes of Pampers and all other kinds of items. I'm sorry, for lack of a better word, I just have to be as honest as can be. They pack our items in all sorts of boxes, and that in itself, these boxes are not meant for the transportation of such items. That in itself poses a challenge. You talk to people the other side in Dubai, and they're talking about the quality of Ugandan produce. They're not talking about the quality of produce that is coming in on the cargo side. They're talking about what is coming in on the passenger side when they talk about packaging, because we know on the cargo side, all the packaging that comes through is inspected. The ministry officials are present to inspect these items. On the passenger side, of course, there is regulation, there is security checks and all that, but there is no limitation on what you pack your fruits and vegetables in. So our request is to, as much as possible, use proper packaging, because this has a direct link to the status of Uganda as a nation. Our image is taken along in terms of how we pack the items that we get out to the market. As for documentation, I will not dwell much on that. Documentation, all our shippers know about the documentary requirements for shipping items into these markets and the process through which to get the right documentation. However, one challenge that abides is especially in the case of shippers who come late. We all know cut-off times for different airlines. Airlines operate on strict schedules, but a lot of times every airline will tell you they deal with the issue of late shippers. Shippers come late, and in the panic of getting documentation in order, either some documents get left behind, mistakes get made on documents, and all this causes items to be impounded once it gets to the market until the documentation process is cleared. In some markets, once they impound your cargo for poor documentation, it goes for destruction in the really strict markets. Now, in the more liberal markets like Dubai, they'll ask you to send copies of those documents. And if you can't locate them because documents have been misplaced in the rush to get your cargo on board, then, well, I leave it at that. I've seen people forge documents to send copies, because if you have lost your documents, you don't have copies, they get a second. What I mean by forging, sorry, I take that back. You have a phyto, say it has all phytosanitary certificates have serial numbers. So your goods have been cleared based on a certain phyto. The goods have gone, documents have gone missing. You create another phyto with a different serial, not what was initially used to clear those goods, and those are the copies that you send. We look at those like as forged documents. But with Dubai, they're kind of liberal, and that has been going. But my caution to our dear shippers is, let's improve on our arrival times at the airport. It also, late coming also causes rough handling. Philip will bear me witness. When you come late, your truck is offloaded in a hurry, screening is done in a hurry, everything is done in a hurry, and mistakes are bound to happen when things are done rush. I'll get to my final, which is a credit facility. We understand times are tough for everybody, and a number of shippers have requested for credit from the airline. Unfortunately, we are not able to offer credit at this point of time in our operation. We are in competition with more established carriers who've been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 years. We are young. We are 1 year old in terms of cargo and passenger combined. We are 3 years old. So we need as much as possible to build relationships with the customers. So we will build relationships with you. We will develop the business, and as the business grows, we will look at the option of offering credit to the market. But for now, credit is off the table. That's not something I proudly say, but I will say at a later point, as we develop and grow and, of course, build the relationship with each other, we will be able to offer the credit, but not as of now. And based on that, I would politely request that for the different shippers and on whichever airline you operate on, try to build a relationship with your carrier. It matters. It matters on two fronts. One, it matters in terms of price. And I believe we all know here that 3, 4 people will be shipping on one airline, and you won't be getting the same price. You get different prices. Of course, there's a margin of variation, narrow margins, but those prices depend on the volumes you ship, how frequent your business is, and then the kind of relationship you have with the airline. When I say relationship with the airline, where you have challenges, feedback, have that continuous mechanism and collaboration. But a lot of times you have this challenge where today someone is on your airline, tomorrow they've jumped and gone to the next. Of course, we move according to the pricing. But where pricing is averagely about the same, I say build a relationship with your carrier. It helps. And when it comes to that point that I mentioned on credit, your credit points, your ability to get credit will depend on what volume of business you've given the airline. So you strive as much as possible to give credit and support to someone that you know has had your back over a period of time. On one issue, which is price. Price is the major determinant of your choice of airline. Of course, there are other reasons like direct carrier, the kind of relationship you have, the level of service you get from the airline. But one thing that I've known over the 24 years that I've been in the industry is a slight change in price by the competition will definitely result into an exodus of customers to that, because the margins in the fruits and vegetables business are low. So we as Uganda Airlines are striving to make sure we give you our most competitive price. And it's something I look at with pride that when we started operating to Dubai, we all, on average, you ship to that region, know what the prices were. Today, the prices are below $1 per kilo. And I look at that as an achievement by the national airline, not because, thank you, not because we are trying to dilute the service, but we look at profit for sustainability. The airline has other very strong reasons for setup, which is spurring growth in the other sectors of the economy. So we will not come to you and look at profit only and set a price that everybody is setting, but as long as we meet our minimum costs, which are basically fuel, insurance, and security, once we meet those, we leave a very small margin for sustenance of the airline. So I can assure you that you'll find our prices to be the best, and I have told a number of shippers, if you have a better price offer with another airline, please come, we talk. And we'll try to match that or beat it. But I give you that assurance that we are doing well in that area and we'll be there for you. And we request for you to continue supporting us. I thank you all.
Thank you so much for coming. I understand you were sick, but you came. You've also addressed our members. So we are trying to do strategic partnerships. Charity begins at home. We have an airline that's going to Johannesburg. One of our board members, Mr. Andrew Muchibi, is in Johannesburg now, negotiating to export. One of our board members. We want this strategic partnership. You've touched on other things, packaging. It's a whole system. And one of the points we are mentioning also to our development partners, following up on each of these issues require technical people. To follow up with him, follow up with the other airlines, negotiate discount. It requires someone needs to spend time in Entebbe. That's just one area. The thing we mentioned with KCCA, it needs technical talent. So as Hoti Fresh, first of all, our members, we do not expect our members individually to start negotiating with airlines. It's not effective. Even the airline, if he told us, if we can do, we assure him of certain cargo volume, he starts giving discounts. So we need to move away from one by one, everyone, it's like everyone goes to the president. We need to sit, coordinate, then we go to him. Uganda Airlines, the packaging companies, branding, they can play a role. They've advertised in our catalog, Uganda Airlines. And again, I'm reminding people, let us advertise in the catalog. We are building something together. So we want to support you, we want to thank you very much. And it's not just symbolic that Uganda Airlines is the one which is here. We want a strategic partnership where we grow volumes. You've mentioned London. One of our members is saying he has an order for 1 million kilograms of chili, dry chili. He's not able to get it. When you are ready a year from now, we want him to be able to export the volumes. So it's a whole ecosystem. We need technical people to join Fred. I'm not saying the rest are not technical, but I'm just saying the issues we need to delve into a menu. And if we do it, then we want to offer our members a menu that for freight, if it's on a Friday, Uganda Airlines is taking a big plane to Johannesburg. Manage your process backward so that you go in on that day. We want the airlines to tell us, cargo. I was told Turkish, they call our members. Do you have 2 tons? Do you have this? There's no systematic way of coordinating. Let us make use of, some airlines go to China and they have space. So we need time and we need investment to help the sector. The packaging industry, working hand in hand, we need to collaborate. Now I want to thank you and then to go to questions. Yes.
I think you mentioned something that seemed to have passed by us. There's a big opportunity in the regional market. And I think one of the previous speakers touched on it. I'm a firm believer in supporting our Buy Uganda, Build Uganda agenda. But I also think the national airline also gives us an opportunity to tap into some of these regional markets, which are good markets, where you'll be surprised that some of the pricing in countries like Congo might be even higher than the UK, but with less restrictions. So I think, for me, I think that's one of the most exciting things. Fred is very right. We need to look at how can we collaborate beyond just inviting you to speak to our members. I think there's a lot of information, probably just like I mentioned to the representative of the Free Zone Authority. We need to have a session for members. I think with the airline, we're able to provide even services for the smaller players, but also allow them participate in the regional markets as they prepare for the more complicated markets.
Thank you so much. Even trade fairs, Uganda Airlines, when there are trade fairs, give us good rates, we go. So
the problem, they don't go to Europe. UK 2 years now, I've forgotten. I wanted to thank my friend from Raire. There is something I'm disputing. We started working together when, actually you started when we were already there. We were existing before you started. And we kept on telling you where there were problems, you change here, change there, on free cost. But you are not training us on how to use that box you supply us, which you are doing in Rwanda. You call it BDA, something, is it information after trade, something like that. You are not training us. In Rwanda, we may be using the same boxes. Though for them, they always ask you many questions. But you taught them on how to use your packaging properly. To put there, I have never heard from any packaging company telling me how I need to use the borderlines to support my box. Never. We only see it in Europe, how they are using those borderlines. But for you, I have never said there is alternative. Because with the borderline and the pallet, boxes will reach properly in the market, Madam Command. They will reach there properly. But we have never known, we don't only see them. Like when you are from a home who don't eat meat, you go to a place where they eat meat, then you see the meat. It's what we see. The support, it's your business, not us alone. Again, you said you have supported. Yes, we have supported you, but because of lack of that training, that greatness you are talking about, we have lost a lot with the packaging, with that box. That Mr. Chairman, Zake, you saw in the market. You saw the boxes, how they looked like. It is not because that they are too weak, but because we are not handling them well, us and the airport. So, Chief, we are going to ask this Hot Fresh to really discuss on our behalf. The packaging we are giving us now, when we start cold chain we are looking at, it will become water. If you put that box in a cold room for 2 days, when you touch it, it will just remain in your hands. Whatever cost will be, if you're in the business and you have built it, we would buy the boxes, nothing, but we needed to build something that, and again, lastly, you should also be the people to support Hot Fresh and us. 5 years ago, we agreed that nobody should ship food in produce of Uganda. We needed branding, but still you are selling those boxes on Kampala, just then in town. If you buy produce of Uganda, everybody can buy. There is no standard. That box you see in the market, it is produce of Uganda. You cannot know it is from KK, it is from who, unless you have seen the documents. And that's not the branding you are talking about. Why are you putting on that uniform with Hot Fresh? It's branding they are talking about. Support, please. KK, we cannot take a box that unless it is KK. When they find the paste there, they will know that even if the name is, they will see it's KK. But now when they get that box, what would they say if they have no document? They will say Uganda. So support, let's support each other. Let's build each other. Me as Hot Fresh, a part of Hot Fresh, I want us to be the people to actually discuss with you, even on price, even they want to purchase, and then the members get from us. I think that's why we are looking for warehouse. So that all the members of Hot Fresh can always get boxes at a good price from them. The same on the airline. Go to Turkish, go to Ugandans, go to those, negotiate price like fresh handling. And then the members pay Hot Fresh. And that's how we are going to build if we are serious on that.
Actually, he has covered my point. My point is, Uganda Airlines is talking of a good price. Can't you, in the packaging, also offer members of Hot Fresh a better price, including credit, if it can be sold? Because unless you have money to buy the packaging, you cannot export. So why not pay you after I've been paid by the Londoners?
Okay. Mr. James was talking about box corner support. How many people are the exporters? How many exporters are using palletized exports from when you're taking to airport here? Okay. Then you can use it. If most of the people are taking in a vehicle, arranging anyhow in the truck, and how could you use that one, the box supporters? So we need to, everybody has to improve. We are ready to support. We are ready to learn. We are ready to innovate whatever you want. You bring a box wherever you can get a sample, I can pay for that. Even for ask your competitor or customer to send it back by even air. As an association of chairman, I can pay money for that. We will develop whatever you want. And the next point is branding. We have customers, many customers who are branding their boxes, not only using produce of Uganda. The customers who want like 1,000 or 1,500, 2,000 pieces, we can brand for them. They need to plan in advance. And we have seen most of the customers, even though Saturday we are closing at 5 o'clock, someone can say, I'm sending money right now, 200 boxes, 300 boxes, I have to ship it. And they come by Boda Boda, and we wait for them. Even our workers are about to leave the place, but still we assist them. But the way the Boda Boda guy handles, anyhow, then you get problems. So you brand okay, if you want to brand, you need to order some certain quantity. You can't order for 200 pieces, 300 pieces, 500 pieces, difficult for us. So you order the enough quantity, keep the stocks at your place, so you don't to be in a hurry, so you don't get spoil the quality of your product and box quality. I think I have answered. Is there anything remaining? You can question us.
Thank you very much, my colleague. I think I would just want to add, we've been having engagement with the Hot Fresh on possibility of you procuring direct from us as an association so that we can pass that price of big volume to you. So the onus is actually on you. We are waiting for you people to come. As soon as you come, be rest assured of very good price. The second thing about branding, he has touched on that. we are having challenges of we are having challenges of many players who are beginning and don't have an identity, who come and want general boxes like produce of Uganda. So we are actually under pressure to have this on our shelves to serve you. But I think it's a process. Once we agree that whatever leaves this country, which I think is going to be done very soon with the standard organization here, that we must have it properly where we can trace who has exported to UK, who has exported to this place. I think that standardization we are soon going to reach to. The other thing is on price. I don't want to mention names, but I saw at least 2 players here whom we deal with, and if they are sincere to you and whisper to you, we offer them 30 days credit. That is our standard practice, Honorable. That's our standard practice. We give 30 days credit. Of course, like my colleague from the airline said, this sort of trust is built over a period of time. You cannot walk in tomorrow and say, now we're in the seminar the other day and you said you offer 30 days credit. No. The 30 days credit will definitely be developed over a period of time. And if I can also have the liberty to say that because most of the players in the vegetable export sector have not been very stable, as an industry, we have suffered a lot from non-payment from most of your members. So if that can be streamlined by us going through an association like you, I'm very sure that all of us will be smiling all the way in as far as price is concerned. Thank you.
Coming back, my name is Mustafa. I'm coming back to the packaging and to the airliner and to handling services. Das is there. I will be talking to him. Please listen. You have talked about your box is not resistant in the cold room with a 2 degrees to 4 degrees. Okay? You accept or you don't accept, it's not going to spend more than 48 hours in the cold room for 2 degrees to 4 degrees. We all know about it. If shippers have come and missed the flight, that is going to keep it for another 24 hours up to 72 hours. And that box is not going to survive. And the airliners, you are allowing those boxes are going to the destination. Why are you allowing them to go? We are carrying on the borders, we are carrying the boxes on the open track, which I'm not part of it, but I'm talking about Hortifresh, how to come. You know it. There are people are carrying in the truck, the boxes with a tarpaulin. Sometimes it's going to rain, it's going to come to the airport, and is not resistant, and is going to enter the cold room. What solution are you going to give it to us? Even if you are going to increase those boxes from 2 ply to 3 ply to 5 ply, same like what you are giving us the expensive boxes on the flour sector. Propose it to those people. I'm part of it. So we don't want our product to reach the final destination and everybody is talking about the boxes of Uganda, product of Uganda. We are the one losing. You are not losing. We are paying the money either to be in credit or to be in cash. You are getting your money. But how about our product? Where is it going to happen? If the airline is going to pay for us back? Handling is going to pay? None.
Thank you
the
so much.
Customers in Europe is not going to refund for us that. Still, we are coming back to you to help us. Please.
Thank you so much, Honorable. And a final question from here. We are again beginning to wind up. These kinds of conversations need to happen on a regular basis. We need to follow up so that we concretize them.
Okay, thank you very much. This goes to the packaging companies and the shippers. when I was looking at the boxes, we always have what we call as handling labels and temperature labels, and then orientation labels on the boxes. On the handling labels, we have some things like vegetable. It is a special cargo and sometimes fragile. So how will this this carrier know that this product is either fragile or this product should not be put at this kind of temperature? Because like vegetables are kept at around -2 to -8 degrees. Now, how will that person know? Sometimes we'll get the box and invert it like this because there's no label which shows that this cargo should be handled like this. So I think there's a need to improve on the kind of labels that you put on the boxes. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Peter, you wanted to say something? We really are now coming to the close. I want to see if they have a round of answers. Then I will hand over to the chairperson to thank everyone.
Okay, we have 2 points. One is cold storage problem, other one labeling. So for the cold storage, I don't know how many people are buying from print and carton the boxes. If anybody raised this problem, please let us know. Because as I have never received a complaint of my customer saying that after 3 days, 4 days, my box is becoming soft. Never. Okay, if other people, I don't know. I would like to ask Mr. Mustafa. You used to buy from our boxes. Do you have faced any problem like that? No, it's so fine. Okay. Yeah.
I think this goes to, if your packages do not show this is for matoke, this is for avocado, chili, specific, they'll pack a different item that requires a different temperature control, and you'll put it in refrigeration, that's what he's saying, and it will definitely break.
No, these boxes not for refrigerated. It's supposed for cold storage. There is difference between refrigeration and cold storage. Yeah. Okay, please use, if you have any issues like that, you let us know before. We can even plan for it. There is so many types of paper available in the world. We can procure and do it. Okay. Then another thing, labeling, you can even advise through artifacts or something. We can also have the labeling, even we can develop the packaging, however you want. There is no restrictions. We are ready to develop and we are ready to innovate things.
Thank you. I'm sorry I did not get your names, but I thank you for the issue you raised, and what I took out of your submission was the fact that there is a lot of potential market regionally that is not exploited, and this is something we could take advantage of. Now, unfortunately, when the airline sets rates, we have what we call the IATA rates. The IATA rates are the foundation guiding principles for rating in airlines. So they publish rates for certain routes based on different considerations. Now, the airline comes up and designs its own rates to try to make it more competitive. Of course, if everybody went by IATA rates, then rates would be the same, but we go with market rates. Now, you find out that to go to Dubai, you're going to Dubai at 90 cents per kilo, and yet to Mogadishu, to Kinshasa, you're going for $2 per kilo. It's, in terms of distance covered, it is unfair pricing. Now, the foundation of that rating is in the IATA system, the IATA rates, what has been published out there. We go with those as a foundation. Now, what have we done as an airline to try to promote regional business and local enterprise? Typically, out of Entebbe, for example, to Mogadishu, to Kinshasa, you have rates of about $1.80. Any airline you go to, I can assure you of that. Come to Uganda Airlines. Because we also gave out the $80. I'm not trying to say we lowered our rates overnight. We came up with the $80. We've had different engagements with exporters. They come and they tell you, at $80, I can't make it. Give me $60. You give them $60, they still can't compete. You come down to $40. Why? Because you know your basic fuel and security has been covered. So if you can meet with this customer at a certain point about your fuel and security and insurance threshold, and the person gets to do business, that business can grow with time. I'm happy to say right now we are at $1.3 per kilo to Kinshasa, to Mogadishu. These African routes that have been, regional routes that have been at almost $2 per kilo, yet we are doing more far-flung routes at lower prices. The ultimate goal is to come to a point where the Ugandan exporter is going to be competitive when they get to the market. These negotiations and discussions are still ongoing, and I can't say there is no possibility to go lower. But if there's a customer out there and we give you a price and you feel that price does not make you competitive in the market, like we did with Dubai. The complaint with Dubai was products from India getting into Dubai at a lower price than ours. So even when you give us $1.10, $1.15, we are still too expensive in the market. So we've tried to come down, and we are doing the same for the regional business. And I can assure you, if we have to come down to $1.20, $1.10 to make sure there is regular, frequent business moving on, then we gain from the economies of scale, we will do that. But let's keep the engagement going. And then on the side of packaging, as he mentioned, it is right, boxes collapse in the cold rooms. And I'm not saying that to discredit the packaging of my colleagues here, no. They don't collapse when you bring your shipment to the airport and it travels the same day or the following day, it is okay. Unfortunately, due to the challenges that I mentioned, like payments as well, someone will bring produce to the airport and the payment is not made and the airline does not carry the produce, so it stays behind. The next flight, for example, you bring it on Friday, the next flight is Sunday. So you're keeping goods in the cold room from Friday to Sunday. By the time you get this, you come to ship these products on Sunday evening, the boxes have absorbed water, they are too weak, they collapse. So when I talked about handling, this is what I mean. If it is in a unit, the whole unit will go to the aircraft as is. But if you have to change and put on a pallet or a container to take to the aircraft to load again one by one into the aircraft, I can assure you're going to have loose pieces getting at the destination, or even within the aircraft itself during loading. So the quality of boxes matters, and like I said, we don't foresee keeping perishables for 48 hours in the cold room. But when it happens, then we realize that, okay, maybe there's something still missing on with the boxes. And somebody mentioned the corner supports for packaging. We as the airlines, we as the handlers, and this crossed my mind, we need to look at how we can support. You give me your pallet of cargo. This is your pallet, and we've palletized it to this site. The corners are not supported because it's just plain pure boxes. But if we can develop supports at the corners to support the packaging so that when the net is tightened, the integrity of the box is not affected, I think that will take us some way. So it is continuous engagement. My humble request is let's keep talking to each other. We can't fail to agree. Thank you very much.
I can see we have a strong partnership. We are going to grow. It's a win-win. We want you to take more volumes. We want you to manufacture a lot of packaging materials. We all make money. I want to thank SMART24 TV. They've just reminded me that we've been live since morning. I also know that NTV, WBS are here. Yes, we have a partnership with SMART24. We support each other. They are a business TV, just like you see Bloomberg. It's showing financial, commercial prices. We are going to reach a time when prices of goods, avocado, whatever, they can start featuring slowly by slowly. That's their niche. It's a business TV. Whenever we call them for events, they come. NTV, NBS, we are also very good friends. Let us work together to promote the sector. I'm now going to hand over to my chairperson, who will do the rest.
Wow, it's been such a long day. But hopefully it's been worth it for everyone. We don't take your support, your membership for granted. I want to thank every member that we have in here in a special way. Please clap for yourselves. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for the feedback that we constantly receive. We have members that are also associations that have chosen to walk this journey with us and collaborate. I want to recognize them in a special way. We learn a lot from each other. I want to encourage you to just keep up that spirit of collaboration. To our members, I want to encourage you to bring your friends and family, even those who are just thinking about getting into this business. Allow them to learn from us. They might not be ready now, but the more knowledge they get, the more prepared they'll be and the more successful their businesses will be. I want to thank Ministry of Agriculture, our partners, our most important partners. We've gone and back and forth and had very numerous conversations with them. There's a lot to achieve, and we are very grateful for the dialogue and the opportunity to constantly engage them. They've trusted us also with a lot, so we don't take it for granted. I want to thank the agencies represented, the Free Zone Authority. There's a lot for us to work on together. In a special way, the other partners, the service providers. There's a lot. It's a journey. We're not there, but we believe that that constant feedback will get us where we want to be. I'll remind everyone, please let's support Uganda Airlines. Let's take advantage. Let's fill up the cargo section so much that they create or they buy a new plane strictly for cargo. I look forward to that day. I still believe, and I'll re-emphasize, the regional markets, yes, the pricing might be a bit higher, but these are markets with enormous opportunity. If you look at a market like Congo, they're actually bringing in food from Belgium. Up to this day, a bulk of their milk comes in from Belgium. Beef, there's so much that comes into Congo from. And guess what? The Congolese pay dollars. Who doesn't want to earn dollars? Don't even go to Kenya to sell. Go to Congo. Go to Sudan. It's the same story with the regions that, with our neighbors that we don't look at as opportunities. So I want to encourage you to support the service providers that have made time to come here and speak to us. Let's take advantage of the opportunities that government has to offer. Let's get to know them. Let's get to know what they are about. And let's be advocates to other people in the community that are not aware of these services. I want to thank the Secretariat in a special way. Thank Mr. Zake. He works day and night to drive this engine. It's not an easy task, starting something new. The first 12 months, just like a pregnancy, the first 12 months are always the worst. But I think the Secretariat has done an excellent job. They've attracted development partners who've really been part of our journey and have promised us more and more. And we look forward to this new year that has started. Feed the Future, that in a special way sponsored the event today, has committed to do so many things with us. We're going to work closely with them to see what we can do for our members. I liked the proposal around setting up a session, what the minister, the Honorable Minister spoke about, a session for different stakeholders so that we can build our strategic plan for 2023 with feedback from different stakeholders, but also for the stakeholders to know what issues are close to heart for our members. I want to encourage you to feed as much into Fred and his team. And we look forward to building on the ideas that you bring to the table to make a session like that very successful, but also relevant for you as members. I think it's important that every time we have audiences like these, every time we're able to bring different stakeholders together, whether it's development partners or the government, let's always walk away with something that is tangible, something that will impact on our businesses. And I think for me, that is what our dream is as a board. I want to thank our board members who continue to work tirelessly all over the place. whether it's visiting the ministries, whether it's jumping onto a plane to go all the way to South Africa to negotiate deals on behalf of our members. There's so much that happens in the background that the members are not aware of. And I think with time, once we start seeing the success of all these activities, you will learn to appreciate how much the board is putting in. So I want to thank each and every one of them in a special way. I want to thank businesses like KK Foods and Agricado, who are always kind enough to share their experiences. I find that there's so much that we learn from each other. Even when you're competing businesses, every business is unique. So it's a good thing for somebody who's already walking that journey to be comfortable enough to share things that other people can learn from, whether it's the competition or whether it's people who are considering going into that business. So thank you so much. We will keep calling upon you over and over to share your story, but it's to really help our members learn. When you've been in the business at least more than 3 years, then there's always a lot that people can pick up and apply so that they don't have to make the same mistakes. We look forward to 2023, and you have our commitment that we will do everything within our power to support your businesses to grow. Please continue to participate in all the activities that we arrange, whether it's training, whether it's an invitation to participate in a trade fair. Tell us what you need in advance, and we'll try and move what we can move. Thank you once again for coming. I hope I didn't leave anyone out, but thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your patience. 8 o'clock to almost 5 is it's humbling to actually see the room still full. So have a nice evening, and we look forward to 2023.
I can't say anything after the chairperson has spoken. Let us network. Again, as we go out, we look at what is out there. These conversations are just beginning. We have a platform, as the minister was saying, that encourages these kinds of discussions, and I don't think they are happening anywhere else. So for this sector, let us work together. Again, thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so much, and Dr. also, my co-moderator, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, today has been a very great day in terms of building agriculture, building the exportation sector, where we have been having very many people engaging with farmers, engaging with other investors